we are in the Champions Pavilion. It is Indy Sports Show Live. We are so happy that you guys have taken the time to check us out. Make sure you go to the online calendar at the indysportshow.com. Keep up to date on all of the people and groups that we're going to be talking to at Indy Sports Show Live. This is the 65th annual Ford Boat Sport and Travel Show. Huge part of travel and sporting is recreational vehicles. Jeff Miller is with Coleraine RVs, and you guys have got quite a presence out there. How many units do you have over at your spot?
We've got 35 units at our display this year.
You told me off air. Now, mind you, we're middle February-ish. How many shows have you already done?
Well, our dealership group, this is the 12th show that I have worked with, set up, and taken care of.
And that's all since the beginning of the year?
Since January 1.
How do they get all these RVs in this space?
Well, the true layout of the space, I actually work with laying out, measuring each unit, and it's just a big jigsaw puzzle to me.
So you put it on a computer and kind of plot it out? And
I actually do it by hand. We do some of them with computer and CAD, but it's just as easy for me to lay it out by hand as it is computer.
So ColerainRV.com, you have a big presence here. There's a lot of pretty units that you've got over. When someone says RV, that brings a lot of images. What's an RV? What does it mean when you say an RV?
The word RV to the customer is very broad. It consists of fold-down campers, travel trailers, which is tow-behinds, fifth wheel, which actually fits in the bed of your truck, and motorhomes. Travel trailer being the broadest spectrum of our business because it can be towed by vans or SUVs. That's our biggest segment of the show.
There's so many things to think about when you're buying a recreational vehicle. Where are you going to be traveling? What type of a vehicle? Are you going to pull it or are you going to drive it? Who are you going to be with? Is it a family or is it just maybe a retired couple? There's an RV for just about everybody out there.
There's an RV for everybody's needs, really. It's becoming such a family event. Vacations, this is the cheapest way to travel, and it's really just a great way to see the country.
Stop dreaming and start living is what you guys say at Coleraine. You know, when you have there's so many things like a Class A, a Class B, a Class C, a toy hauler. You know, you have all these different categories. One of the things that I perceive is growing in popularity are these what they call toy haulers. What are those?
Toy hauler is when people want to take their bikes, their four-wheelers, their side-by-sides out into the wilderness, but they want to take their toys with them. We've also got people that buy toy haulers to do nothing but take large families, because it just gives you an extra space and that extra bathroom in the unit, and it gives you such a wide variety of way to travel.
Do people rent before they buy? How do you counsel people to buy the right RV?
Basically, buying the correct RV. I mean, it all starts with your tow vehicle. What your vehicle can tow, whether it is an SUV that can only tow 5,000 pounds, or you've got a ton truck that can tow 16,000, 18,000 pounds. That is a limiting factor on really what you need to look at. And once we do that, figure out what your needs are, how many people you want to sleep, and really where you're going to travel. Are you going to do weekends, or if you're going to do long extended trips? That all plays into the correct RV for you.
You know, there's all sorts of new ever-changing technology. You know, there's a lot of things to consider. You brought up a few, like what's it cost to park? Do you want to cook in the vehicle? What type of topography are you going to be traveling over? All sorts of things, and that's why people are here at the show Do you get people that just walk up and spontaneously make a purchase, or are they pretty educated?
Today's customer is very educated. With the media and what you can get on the internet today versus 20 years ago, our buyer is an educated buyer today. We've got a lot of people that have done research for a couple years before they purchase an RV. So we are dealing with a group that is more educated. They've got a little more money than they used to have, and they truly want to be together as a family, and this is a family event.
Pros and cons of new, pros and cons of used.
New, you always get your warranties, and that's a big plus. So if you have an issue, let's face it, an RV is a piece of mechanical networking. It's got a lot of technology today, so things do happen to break every now and then. Your warranties will help you take care of that, versus if you buy a used, it's a great way to start to see if you're really going to enjoy the RV lifestyle, if you're going to use it and actually see the country or get together with friends and camp.
So you come out to the Boat Sport and Travel Show as a consumer, they're educated, they come to Colerain RV. How do you know you're getting the best price? I mean, obviously they're shopping, they're looking, and you've got people doing this in other places. How do you counsel people when they're preparing to buy to make sure they get the best deal at a place like the Boat Sport and Travel Show?
When we come to the show, especially this show, we put our best foot forward on pricing. We've got manufacturers' incentives for this show.
What does that mean?
Manufacturers' incentives, in other words, they will give us the best deal on the campers that we've got available to the consumer out here. So by doing that, this is the best time to buy of the year. You can get a camper the cheapest that you possibly can get. We've got extra incentives on hitch work and everything else that are not available throughout the rest of the year.
You know, Indiana is known as the RV capital of the world.
Yes, it is.
More are produced here in Indiana. What's the state of the RV industry? Is it growing, shrinking?
The RV industry today is really growing. It's a great industry to get into if somebody is just coming out of high school and wanting to get into a specialized field. The RV industry offers so much, from manufacturing to working into technology, and even just sales. There is just so much to offer if anybody would want to get into that field.
You know, we're talking at the Boat Sport and Travel Show, Indy Sports Show Live. You're over there, you've got a great crew of people. What are the things that you want the consumer to come to you to be prepared to ask? Meaning, you want an educated buyer. What are you hearing people say? And when you hear a conversation of somebody that wants to buy, what are some of the common questions that they're asking you about to pick the right RV?
Number one, like I said, people are wanting to know how many it sleeps and what they can tow. That's probably the two questions that we get asked more than anything. A family of 4 and they've got a smaller SUV, they can pull a little 22-footer with a small slide out and be very comfortable. Now, if you do have a larger truck, then we can go into fifth wheels and everything else. But we are seeing a lot of people that wanting to get into the industry, and they're staying in it. They're trading in their campers just like automobiles and their cars. Every 3 to 5 years, they're coming back to see us. And we are really looking forward to taking care of that customer for the long term. But the customer and the consumer today is asking, you know, what the technology is, what spatial features. We've got touch pads that can run slide outs, your awnings. We've got a couple of the RVs that you can actually put the app on your phone and you can run lights and everything directly from your phone.
Just like a house?
Just like a house.
So you used the term camper a couple times. Is that the proper, is that like a 4-letter word in your industry?
Campers, RVs, it kind of goes together. Camper seems to be as friendly. RVs, in my mind, you can say a camper for travel trailers and fifth wheels. RV, when I'm talking about that, it actually has a motor on it, and it's more a motorhome.
Yeah. Can you finance?
We do have financing available, great terms throughout the show, and we do have our financing representatives here today.
What's the number one accessory everybody has to have in their RV or their camper?
Right now, it's outside kitchens.
I agree with that.
Everybody likes to cook outside over the fire, and with a refrigerator and being able to wash dishes or anything outside to keep the camper clean or the RV clean, that's what people are looking for today.
Can't thank you enough. Coleraine RVs, big part of the boat sport and travel show for sure. A lot of pretty units out there. Stop by, say hello to our friends at Coleraine. Stop by and say that you heard them here on Indy Sports Show Live. We're going to be back next weekend, full lineup at the Deer Turkey Waterfowl Expo. And from the Champions Pavilion and just the fantastic confines of the Travel Cafe, I'm Brian Pointer, host of Indy Sports Show Live, and we'll see you next weekend.